What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 6. Now, we're not going to take a whole lot of time going over the match card like we normally do. But a few things are going on tonight. A couple big announcements. The rise of the nWo. I thought it was only fitting to start saying that. We don't know if it's going to happen. But after this announcement, you will understand why we're saying that. Other things are also going on tonight. You're going to see one of the very first. I don't think we've actually, this has got to be the first. I don't think we've ever had this on the show before. But in the very first match, we're going to see a 2-on-3 tag elimination match. The current Stampede tag champions going up against the Fallen. Subzero, Glacier, challenging tonight for the Stampede tag team titles against Pony and Paul. Tekryn, challenging Witcher for the championship, the women's championship, and Rebecca Dawn, Allison going after it for the European title. Now there's other things that are happening, but let's get this thing started. I'll tell you another really interesting thing that I found out. And guys, if it's too loud, if the volume is too loud, you just got to let me know on the microphone. Might be a little loud. I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm going to back it off just a scotch, so we can see what's going on. But one of the interesting things I found out, and I'm kind of glad that I did a stream. You guys are always asking, why can't we hear the music? If they do that, these streams will get copyrighted. What's going on, Digital? Welcome to the stream. Paul, Angel, Sentinel. Welcome to the stream, guys. So we're gonna see what happens, because now I too cannot hear the music. There's a certain setting on here, and I was wondering why that setting was even involved. Well, now I know. It's called Creator Safe Mode. But anyway, let's get back. Now, you remember on the last Stampede, Phoenix and Mimi
is a 3-on-2 tag team handicap match. On the way to the ring, the Stampede Women's Tag Team Champions, the Thrill Seekers.
They had just won the tag team titles, and the Fallen wanted to challenge. These guys came out and said, you know what? Why make it a 2-on-2 match? Let's go ahead and make it a handicap 3-on-2 match. So we are about to find out just how good Phoenix and Mimi are. Can they stand up to the Fallen? Now, tag team titles are not on the line in handicap matches. We can't have the titles on the line. So I got to imagine, though, if the Fallen come out and win this, they will probably be in a title match very soon.
And their opponents, the Fallen.
Yeah, I don't want to get it too much louder than that. Maybe we'll do it this way. Is that better there? I just reversed some settings. That way maybe the microphone isn't so loud. Oh, Frankie Two Fingers. What is going on, Jane? Welcome to the stream. So here we go. Our very first 2-on-3 match, and that's not going to be the only first that happens tonight. What's interesting about these, if you look at most of these women, they match up very, very well. Normally, you have somebody larger than somebody, somebody's faster than somebody. If you look at all 5 of these women, very close in size, stature, speed, the whole 9 yards. So what it's going to come down to in this match is who is the tougher of the opponents. Can 2 women outlast 3 That question is about to get answered. One of the other things, though, and one of the big announcements is tonight. We know that Hollywood Hogan came out. He made the announcement that the nWo, the current version, is going to retire, and he is looking to pass the torch. Well, another development happened on Twitter this week where Totes McGoat said, no, that is not going to happen. You don't own the rights to the nWo. I do. You don't have the right to pass the torch. If anybody is going to pass the torch, it would be me. And I'm not passing the torch. After that happened, Hogan made a challenge to Totes McGoats and said, hey, then let's settle this in the ring. Totes agreed to do that, but not in a one-on-one match like Hogan thought. So all 4 Horsemen are going to be here tonight. It is going to be a 4-on-4 tag team elimination match. If Hogan's team can win, he will then earn the right to pass the torch to the next leader of the nWo. If he loses, though, that stops the whole thing. So, is this really going to be the rise of the new nWo, or is this going to be the last time we see the New World Order? Now, Mimi taking it to the outside of the ring. Ow. That is an owie. A discus elbow throw right there, but Mimi recovers pretty quick. Gets right back on top and gets running the show in front of Blaze Birdstorm. Another thing, ever since update 1.11, I've noticed that in tag team matches, for some reason, the tag partners don't break it up quite as much as they used to. And look at this, Mimi trying to get on all of them, and they're like, no thank you. But that isn't going to stop Mimi. Mimi's just going to keep going. Finally gets them, and still stays in control of this match. Blaze Birdstorm makes her way back into the ring. Hey, I got to be honest, we haven't seen the Fallen enough for me to be that great with their names either. Although I know that is Shade Slater. I know Blaze Birdstorm is in the ring. The other one will hit me. Carter Cyclone, that is the ginger one. Look at this, Mimi Hurricane Run on the outside of the ring. Everybody is just letting it fly right now. And Blaze still out. Kind of shocking that even though Fenig started, Fenig like hit one move, got Mimi in, and ever since then it has been Mimi and Blaze Birdstorm going at it. Finally getting Shade Slater tagged in, and a little partner assisted elbow or shoulder block, but Mimi again gets up, but Shade just a little bit faster, just a shade faster than Mimi on that one. Certainly faster on that one though, but Mimi starting to get it back under control. Is she going? Oh, this might be. It is. The Mia Moore goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and you gotta love the nonchalant pins. You gotta love it. I know I love it. But Blaze back in, probably a lot faster than she had planned on being in. Now, had Mimi hit the Mia Moore on Blaze, I'd kind of expect it, but I wasn't expecting. I thought Shade Slater was going to be able to kick out of that. Does not, however. And really now you're starting to look at the Fallen. And they are probably, this is the worst case scenario because you've got Blaze Burnstorm, who has been in the match most of the time, probably does not have a lot of stamina left. And the two wrestlers that do, still on the outside of this ring. So Carter Cyclone, left on the outside, Phoenix. Look, Carter can't even muster the strength. Or Blaze can't even muster the strength to get Carter tagged in. Carter reaching, but can't do it. Phoenix playing it up to the crowd now, getting back after Blaze. Blaze, though, look at this. Little fight, still fighting through. And another big elbow. That is a crazy elbow. Like, you see it, and at first it doesn't look like it would be that big of a deal, but then you see the wrestler's reaction to getting hit with it, and you know that's got to be like a ton of bricks coming down on top of their head. Wow, still though, kicked out in two. Didn't think Blaze was going to have that in her. And now Shade and Mimi going at it. Or Carter going at it on the outside of the ring. And that is her finishing move. Can Phoenix kick out of it? She does. Blaze is like, man, what do I got to do? I've taken a lot of punishment. Finally getting the thing turned around. And still, there she goes. Hits it again. That is probably going to do it for Phoenix unless Mimi can get in. 1, 2, 3. And what's crazy, even though Phoenix hadn't been in that long, you can't get hit by two of those knees that way, get hit by one of the elbows, and then expect to make it. There's a big elbow coming off the ropes. Can Mimi now take advantage of it and get Blaze out and get this back to a one-on-one match? And now the bad thing is, even though a second ago it was like the worst case scenario for the Fallen, this is now the best case scenario. But here we go, Mimi up with the Mia Moore. Goes for the pin again. 1, 2. And Carter kicks out in 2. Kind of shocked by that. You still got Blaze on the ground. Mimi trying to take it up to the top. Is Carter going to see this coming? No, big elbow. Rolls the leg. 1, 2. And out again in 2. Now remember, for Carter Cyclone, this is her first real action in the match as far as being the actual competitor. What is this? Being the legal woman in the ring. Mimi now taking it back up to the top again. Carter trying to get to her feet. Missile drop kick, sidesteps it. And now Carter starts to take control. Blaze back up on the apron, and Mimi now on an island by herself. Will she be able to pull this through? Currently, half of the World Tag Team Champions, the Thrill Seekers, and she is going back and forth, maintaining control of this match. Big right hand right to the top of the scunion of Carter Cyclone. And if Mimi can pull this off, that would mean she took out all 3 competitors. There it is again. Mia Moore for the second time, unless Blaze can get in. But Blaze did not make it in time. Mimi now taking a boot right to the face. Wisely gets out. But Blaze, Blaze has been in this match for the most part. So is Mimi, and they find themselves as the last 2 standing, which I find hard to believe. But here we are. And these two just going back and forth, back and forth. Unbelievable. What they are doing. But regardless, at the end of the day, putting on quite the show. And what a way to start off this Wednesday night Stampede. Gonna be a historical night. We've already got the four horsemen who are from the brand SmackDown will be here tonight because Stephanie McMahon says it will happen tonight. And Mimi, despite her best efforts, eliminates two of them but cannot get the third one. The Fallen have won. So be looking for that. Be looking for the Fallen to get their shot at the tag titles and probably coming up here pretty quick. So now, not even slowing down the pace, getting right back after it. The men's Stampede World Tag Team titles on the line tonight. Subzero and Glacier making their debut on the Stampede brand and immediately getting shots at the tag titles. So it's going to be a crazy night here tonight. I have been looking forward to this episode for a long time. A long time. And I know you guys have been too, but it is going to be something else. Also, quick side note, notice Wednesday Night Stampede logo changed. It's funny, back in the day, Glacier, the WCW put a lot of money into Glacier, into his debut, into his appearance, into everything, into his entrance. It was the most expensive entrance minus Hollywood Hogan. And unless you're a wrestling fan, most of you probably have never heard of Glacier. That just kind of goes to show sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. I always hoped that it would. He always had a very interesting look. And it just makes sense that Glacier and Subzero have teamed up to form this tag team. Now, how good is the tag team going to be? That we don't know. That's what we're going to have to find out here. But we know how good this tag team is. The Brainbusters, Pony Gumditch, Paul the Thing, current World Stampede Tag Team Champions, putting their belts on the line 1 week after winning them. So you can see these guys are going to be fighting champions. Dreams do come true. That is very true, Digital. Yeah, we were going to try to live stream the current Division II news. Could not figure it out in time, but given a little more time, given a few more weeks, we are going to learn more and more and more about our current streaming setup and be able to bring stuff like that to the channel, which is going to be exciting, I think.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the Stampede Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 476 pounds, the Blue Bloods. And their opponents at a combined weight of 483 pounds, They are the Stampede Tag Team Champions, the Brain Busters.
The Brain Busters versus the Blue Bloods. BB. BB versus BB. And in this match, it will be kind of interesting. You have Pony, kind of a smaller wrestler, Paul, a larger wrestler, and then you have Subzero and Glacier, like both pretty much right down the middle. So I would say fairly even match. I think both teams are only off by no more than 15 pounds weight-wise. So going to be very interesting, and I think what it's going to come down to is how the tag team champions attack this match or defend in this match. And then what is the response from the challengers? Like, how do they come up against it? Another thing that we're looking at doing, and I mean the WWE has already kind of designed the belts, but possibly using the two newly designed championships and replacing the SmackDown World Championship and the Raw World Championship with those two belts respectively. Not saying we're going to do it, I'm still thinking about it, but we might do that, and that'll add a little bit of separation between the three brands. But honestly, one of the bigger things that I think we have to look out for, hey, what is going on, Dragonoff? Welcome to the stream, brother. One of the bigger things that I think we have to look out for, oh, you didn't know? Oh, man. That is quite the reversal by Subzero. Pony reeling a little bit, trying to get back to his feet, but look at this, Subzero staying on top of it. But one of the other things that we really are kind of watching and looking after is what is happening with the New World Order. What is happening with the Four Horsemen? What is happening with just the wrestlers in this match? Like, who is going to be involved? Is Hogan going to bring the old crew here tonight? Is he going to bring Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Randy Savage? Is he using that group, or is he possibly going to use some of the wrestlers that he plans on giving a shot when he passes the torch to the New World Order, if he earns that right, which we're going to find out tonight if he does or not. But that is a very good question. Angel will see himself in the next two episodes, which are not on Stampede. After tonight, it'll make more sense, I think. Now remember, they can't lose the championships on a count out. Pony gets back in time. Subzero goes after Paul. Pony tries to get him, kicks him, but because Pony's a little bit smaller, Subzero stays on his feet. But Glacier does not. Now Subzero out of the match. You can see Pony moving a lot slower. Paul, though, gets tagged in. Subzero almost broke that up, but not quite. And if I was the champs, this is probably the matchup, or the way I would want it to match up. Subzero, Pony, Glacier with Paul. But now Paul trying to get things turned back around. Glacier has been in control, briefly at least, since it started, and out in one already. I think Paul was just like trying to slow things down. just a tad. Remember, pacing, very important. One big elbow deserves another big elbow. And a big knee right to the forehead. Shocked that that didn't split Glacier open. Or maybe it's a forearm. He keeps grabbing his nose. But no blood as of yet. Now Paul letting it fly. And staying right on top of Glacier. This is one of the things I think, especially when you look at some of the big men. A lot of your big men kind of sit back and let the action come to you. Paul, not in that category at all. Paul actually works at a very quick pace and does not let the match slow down. So he's got, because he's bigger, very powerful moves. But his pacing is also very fast, which typically causes him to tag in and out much faster. He goes and does that thing where he goes in spurts. And here we go. To my point. But with Paul and Pony understanding that, it usually works out very well for the duo. And look at that. That outburst from Paul already has Glacier kind of reeling. Whoa! Big power slam by Subzero. And that does it. Now, this goes back to the point I've been trying to make. It seems like they tune down how fast your tag partner will come in. But regardless of that, the Blue Bloods, brand new Stampede Tag Team Champions. Look, Subzero letting them know, like, hey, putting you on notice. These are ours. Come and get them. Look at the face paint, though, of Subzero. That is on another level. So, man, moving right along. Brand new tag team champions already. And now we look at one of the oldest groups. One of the longest reigning tag team type, the Maniacs. Gonna have Tekryn now challenge Witcher for the women's Stampede title. Can Witcher maintain control or not? I know, Paul, that was crazy. I can't believe. I really wonder what they did. There's something that changed inside the game to make. They used to do it too much, and now I don't think they do it enough.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Stampede Women's Championship.
No, I was not either. That is just freaky. Tekryn, along with SC Jumpman and Milkman, now making her way down to the ring. Again, shot at the women's Stampede World title. Tekryn has come a long way. If we go all the way back to season 2, I believe, she kind of hit the scene. But we didn't see a lot of her, and then all of a sudden kind of changed her look up, then started making more appearances, and now getting her very first shot at the women's Stampede World title. What is going on, Rowdy? Welcome to the stream. I'm telling you, Tekryn, freaky character. Not that Milkman and Jump are much better. But where I would have thought before, where it seemed like maybe Jumpman was the leader of the Maniacs, and I'm not even saying they have a leader. It almost seems a little bit more like Tekryn might be driving that bus now, might be driving that train. Maybe leader would be a strong word, but it looks like she may be the mastermind behind some things that are going on. Witcher. Looks like she's like, why am I even having to defend this belt this week? I defend it all the time. I do the thing. Looks a little annoyed. Is that going to play into this match at all? Because she didn't even bring her bike. She's like, let me just get in this ring. Let's get this thing started so that I can get my title belt and get up on out of here. Sounds good, Rowdy. We have got a match a little bit later on, oddly on Stampede. So you are wrestling tonight. So I think regardless of what happens with any of the world title belts, Stampedes will remain the same.
From the wasteland, the unrelenting Tekryn. And her opponent from Houston, Texas, she is the Stampede Women's Champion, the Witch.
Still, one of my favorite title belts. That design on that front plate. Absolutely love it. But like I was saying before, no matter what happens, they either all stay the same, but I don't think Stampede's title belts will change. That's kind of where the design came from in the first place. I think they will maintain it. Now, there is a brand new World Championship and a brand new Universal Championship. I think they look pretty sharp. I mean, not as big on the Universal title, but I get it. So those may become the brand new SmackDown and the brand new Raw World titles, respectively. We'll figure out how that goes. But Tekryn kind of got off to a fast start, but Witcher immediately wakes up like, hey, I want to be out here. Probably figured this could happen at a pay-per-view, but she is here once again, defended the world title belt. And Tekryn now trying to take advantage of it. Also tonight, we saw quite the matchup for the world title, and it came down to Max Fenig and Digital Dogs. Max now will put the world title on the line tonight in the main event against Digital. Look at Witcher, like Witcher really at a disadvantage here. At any time, Milkman, SC Jumpman can get involved. So far, it's only been the referee getting in Witcher's way. But Witcher fighting through all of it to try to maintain control. And remember, for Witcher, she doesn't care. It can be a count out if they want it, because the title will not change hands on a count out. Look at the world champ go. Like, it's like the little things, like she does some stuff, she gets in the ring first, then her opponent follows her in the ring, but now she's back on the advantage. But it's definitely not an accident why she is the world champion. Look at Tekryn though. Tekryn doing a little merry-go-round move, round and round she goes. Where she stops, well, now Witcher also knows. But now Tekryn using the stairs, getting around and back through them, over back around to the side to get the advantage back on Witcher, and she is taking full advantage of this, but Witcher recovers way sooner than I think even Tekryn expected. And here she goes, Witch's Brew. This is ended a lot of women's nights. Is it going to end Tekryn's night right here? Tekryn, though, holding on. Referee right in the way. Or right, not in the way, but right in position. Just in case she tapped out, but Tekryn fights through it. I was going to say, I thought she was going to go for the pin. Does, but Witcher out in one. Going to take a lot more than that to beat Witcher, but is that her finishing move now? 1, 2, and already down to 2. Witcher probably thought she was going to have a fast night tonight, but Tekryn begs to differ. And back and forth these two go. What a match we are seeing tonight, and it is no wonder Tekryn is getting her shot at a world title. Can Witcher get back to her feet? Thought Tekryn would definitely go for a pin there. But Witcher fighting, trying to get back to her feet, but Tekryn keeping the offense going. Showing why she is a member of the Maniacs. Now Tekryn definitely setting up, and here she goes, finishing move. This is the second time this might do it. We might have a brand new champion, and we do. Tekryn, your brand new Stampede Women's Champion. 2 title matches, 2 brand new champions tonight.
Here is your winner, and new Stampede Women's Champion, the unrelenting Tekryn.
We knew that when season 4 started, we were going to start seeing new people get shots at the world title. Now, one of the amazing things about all of this is so far in these title matches, you look at Allison, you look at Tekryn, Subzero, Glacier, Pony, and Paul. All brand new champions as of this year. You know, even though, yeah, some of them have lost the title belts tonight, but we're starting to see these new people start to step up. And what that's going to do is make wrestling as a whole a much better brand. Kind of like when you look back, we talked about this before, where you got Hogan. They had Lex Luger try to step up and be the new Hogan. Didn't exactly work out. Luger then leaves the company, goes to WCW. Really cuts out a better name for himself in WCW. But then you have the likes.
The following contest is an elimination match and is for the European Women's Championship.
It's a one-on-one match, no doubt. It's an elimination match. That's weird. Hey, what is going on, Becky? Welcome to the stream. You made it just in time. So, but we look at all these different things. Then you look at the failed WCW wrestlers that went to the WWE. The Undertaker. He gets a better gimmick, obviously. In WWE, they use him better. You look at Steve Austin. Steve Austin was the one that kind of was like, but he was still a mid-card guy, even in the tag division. Then Jake the Snake Roberts comes out, cuts a promo, and says, you know, look to the Bible, whatever 316 says. And then it was an off-the-cuff comment. It wasn't Austin 316 says, I'm going to, whoop your... So then he becomes big. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Paul Levesque. Turns into Triple H. So then these guys get a better gimmick. And then all of a sudden... You have those guys, you have The Rock, you have just Kane, you have all these people, and then these stars start making the stars bigger, and it almost looks like that is what is happening here, even more in Season 4. Allison another good example, making her way down to the ring. Won the European title. Becky getting her shot at it again tonight. But already Allison has been in our universe mode for a while, but haven't seen a lot from her. She actually leaves the nWo, ends up winning a title, and now here she is looking more and more like she could carry the women's division. Will she get her shot at a world title? Don't know, but first things first. Don't need to be looking at our shots to the world title. Need to look to see if we can hold on to the European Championship right now.
Introducing the challenger from Virginia, the irresistible force, Rebecca Dawn.
Becky.
Her opponent from Huntsville, Alabama, she is the European Women's Champion, Allison Wagner.
Becky, another example with the Spitfire Warriors. Much of last year, the Spitfire Warriors break up. Actually, 3 of the women go on completely different paths. One of them actually over in Japan wrestling right now. That is why we haven't seen her. We've seen her in some division streams here as of late, but haven't seen her in the ring in a hot minute. So will she end up coming back? We will see. But yeah, you look at all these like changes that have happened from season 3 into season 4. And for the most part, I would say a lot of them have really worked out. Will Becky get her hands back on that European Championship? We will see, and obviously this is one of those no-holds-barred type of matches. Are the weapons, are the foreign objects going to come into play more here? And then if it's a no-holds-barred type of a match, if anything goes, will we see anybody interfere? And if we saw anybody interfere, who? Not really sure completely who Becky might be aligned with, if anybody. Don't know exactly, Allison, who she could be aligned with now that she has left the nWo, if anybody. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But might see something tonight that could shed a little bit of light on that. Now, Allison, for her height, moves more like a medium-sized type wrestler. I wouldn't say a high flyer exactly, but more like kind of a in-between, like a striker and a high flyer, which makes a lot of what she does very unique. Becky now, on the other hand, you look at her and she does a lot of things with power. Now you'd think it would be the other way around because Allison, due to the height, has that height advantage, right? Has that leverage advantage. But both of them kind of go up against the norm. Now, you can see Becky grabbing her head, even though that was a knife-edge chop, came down, head right on the back of that ladder. Allison gonna try to take advantage of that right here. Yeah, referee always sleeping on the job. Ref going for the pin. Count right now, 2 count. Allison kind of shaking her head going, man, I can't believe it. I thought I had this. But that is pretty sure that was her finishing move. 1, 2, 3. And Allison Wagner slips out again and defends the European title.
Here is your winner, and still European Women's Champion, Allison Allison, Wagner.
Kind of makes you wonder, hey, like, what is going on with Becky? I have been told that she may have suffered an injury. And that is what is going on. Now, that has not been confirmed, so we don't know for sure. But quite possibly could be what's going on. Something we're definitely going to want to keep an eye on. Now, Sentinel gonna put his European Championship on the line, and this was kind of some of the stuff I was afraid of. We know the nWo is here tonight, and as we can see, a possible new member of the New World Order, at least he's wearing the colors, Drew McIntyre. So, can the nWo start taking some championships? Don't even know if they're going to be allowed to wear the colors. And we see our first possible new member here tonight.
Is an elimination match. And is for the European Championship. Introducing the challenger from Shangri-La, weighing in at 239 pounds, McWayne.
McWayne, haven't got to see a lot of him in Season 4, but making his way down to the ring right now. Men's European title on the line. And you know, McWayne and Angel do have an affiliation. But like Angel has pointed out, have not seen a lot of Angel yet this season. I do dig the green lips on McWayne, like where it completes the circle. I mean, it's very interesting, but I don't think we realize just how big Drew McIntyre is. And if he is now going to be a part of the nWo, that is bad news.
Introducing the challenger, representing the nWo from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
That is going to be some bad news for the rest of the wrestling world. Drew McIntyre, kind of like your Scott Hall type, except more focused, more disciplined. We are going to have to hope that tonight, Totes, along with the Four Horsemen, can stop and block this New World Order takeover.
Introducing the challenger from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 228 pounds, Dave.
Dave, another guy we haven't really got to see a lot of recently, but now making his way down to the ring as well, getting his shot at the European Championship. Remember, Dave, or the imposter Dave, at one point was a part of the Four Horsemen, so there are some ties there. Four Horsemen haven't been back on the Stampede brand this season, but because of the dire situation of what the nWo and Hollywood Hogan is trying to do, Stephanie McMahon has allowed this emergency match to take place tonight that'll happen right before the main event. It will be a 4v4 New World Order versus the Four Horsemen in an attempt to block the Four Horsemen or the New World Order's takeover.
And introducing the champion from Virginia, weighing in at 308 pounds, He is the European Champion, the Blueprint, Sam Trowell.
Sentinel now making his way down to the ring. Much scarier look this year. And this new look has brought home that European title. Now, I said we didn't exactly know some affiliations of like Becky and Allison, but what we do know, Becky does align herself with Sentinel, and Allison does align himself or herself with Jace Wagner. So, but as far as in the women's division, we don't know. Yeah, it has been a bad day for the current champions, actually. Is Sentinel going to be able, really, when you look at this, I would imagine the one thing we don't want to happen, above all else, is the nWo walk away with this title belt in their very first attack on one of the three brands. So nWo, new nWo here tonight apparently, at least that is my guess, with Drew McIntyre being in this ring. And Sentinel right away, which, you know, I've got to say that's probably the thing you would want to happen, is the current champion trying to take out the New World Order. Look at McWayne in that move. Holy cow. McWayne very proud of that. But Sentinel now trying to... Look at Sentinel. Sentinel hits him with a big forearm and says, "What are you doing?" Dave sitting back waiting. McWayne doing the same thing. Sentinel now right back on Drew McIntyre. Tells Drew he's done. But Dave there trying to pick up the pieces. Big slam. Dave now rolls up the leg. One. And only a one count. We haven't seen a whole lot anywhere in our universe mode of Drew McIntyre. So not only are we seeing Drew McIntyre, but now we're also seeing Drew McIntyre in the nWo. McWayne just got split open by Dave. McWayne tried to return the favor, saying, "Hey, why are you doing that?" And Dave just saved McWayne from a worse fate with that stop sign. Yeah, I do too. It's one of my top 10 favorite new looks, to the point where I think I found a better type of a mask, and I won't change it because I don't want to ruin it. Maybe one day I'll look at it. It's very similar but slightly different. nWo now using normal nWo type tactics, takes that stop sign that Sentinel went and got, threw it on top of him, but look at McWayne, there it is again. That is like worse than a curb stomping. Big neck breaker. McWayne now kind of on another level, taking everybody out, and the only person who has been hit by that stop sign has been the guy who went and got it, and that is Sentinel. McWayne now going up to the top rope. Is he going to have enough distance? He does. Big double overhand axe handle, and look at this, McWayne letting it fly off these top ropes. Apparently decided against that. Dave controlling the action on the outside, and look at this, Dave back to the stop sign. Sentinel getting back to his feet and takes another one right to the old kielbasa. And Sentinel trying to get back to his feet, but McWayne just not letting him. And now Sentinel looks like he's getting things turned around. Dave controlling the action and doing some push-ups here on the outside of the ring, but Drew was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have been doing that. Drew now giving him a little flex. And picks up the baseball bat of Totes McGoats. And oh, I don't even know what that was. Might have got hit by it, might not have. McWayne gets that reverse back around. Sentinel on top of Dave. Rolls up the leg. Referee right on top of it, but only a 1 count can be found with that move. That's interesting. Thought Drew McIntyre might have been going for his finishing move, but didn't get it in. And now, oh, this is Dave's finishing move on Sentinel. Rolls up the leg, 2, 3, and it has not been a good night for current champions. The crazy thing is, though, Drew McIntyre still in this match, still has a shot, even though he hasn't been doing as well as I thought, but still has a shot at winning this European title. It is now fallen on to the hands of Dave and McWayne to stop the New World Order from firing the first shot across the bow in this attack. Look at Dave, kind of another level. We've seen McWayne control the entire match. We've seen Dave do it. We have not seen Drew do it yet. Drew did duck that one kick, but this might be the part. This might be the part where Drew starts taking control of this match. If I was Dave, if I was McWayne, I would start working against the much larger wrestler and get him out of the match. No Lamborghini for Sentinel today. That's kind of the scary thing, though. Like, it hasn't been the greatest day for the wrestlers we thought would be winning, right? What is that going to mean for the Horsemen in this fight against the New World Order? That's not good. Just hit McWayne with the stairs. Now picks up the baseball bat. Gives him the old scunion buster with that. Swings it again, but Dave finally comes to McWayne's rescue. And for his problems, gets clotheslined by McWayne. McWayne now thrown inside the ring. Dave and McIntyre on the outside. And really, I was going to say, Dave is probably in the worst position with this. And now McWayne not in the best of circumstances. But look at Dave. Dave recovers in enough time, gets up, and tries to get back in control of this match. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh SpaghettiOs. Drew McIntyre has this like reverse armbar locked in. Is Dave gonna tap? No, flips through it. But you can see, look at that. Didn't see it, but Dave has been split open. Blood running down the face of Dave. We know McWayne has also been split open, even though we can't see the blood underneath the mask, and he just keeps getting hit right in the old head. Big sidekick there. And it seems like every time one of them starts to get a leg up on the nWo, They turn on each other way too quick. Big bulldog, and not just a bulldog, but a bulldog right into those steps that were set up. Drew McIntyre's like, what are you doing? Get up. Here, let me help you. McWayne now has that baseball bat. And a big clothesline. Thought he might have went for the pin. Both wrestlers trying to get back to their feet. Drew McIntyre in the wrong spot, but doesn't matter. Stays in control of the mat. Oh, look at that. McWayne taking it to the downtown. Downtown Julie Brown lays Drew McIntyre out. I wouldn't even be getting up. I don't know why Drew McIntyre's even getting up right now. Swinging neck breaker. Will he go for the pin? No, instead decides to do some house cleaning. And so does Drew McIntyre. Now, one of the moves we haven't got to see. Yet is the old sit-down sausage. And you know it's a party when the sledgehammer comes out. Oh, not only was that like a big shoulder block to the lower back, but McWayne went into that side table really awkwardly. And you can see these wrestlers starting to move a lot slower. This match starting to take a toll on all three of these guys. Which one is going to be able to eliminate one of the three first? I almost think whoever can eliminate the first one will be at a disadvantage. It really depends on how it goes. Whoa! Dave taking a page out of Totes McGoat's book, hits him with the extraction. But again, not Dave's finishing move, so probably not done with the same type of force. Drew McIntyre sends Dave into the ring, does a little flexing for him, and then sends him right back into the ring. What is going on, JP? Welcome to the stream. Man, you have missed a rough night for some current champions. There it is again. Not sure where this is coming from, because that is not his finishing move, but something we're going to have to look at for sure. Back and forth on the knife edge chops. I would not want to be in that situation with Drew McIntyre. Dave now picking up the steps. McWayne on the ground, and Drew playing it up to the crowd. Goes to kick Dave. Dave kind of little stutter steps back, then hits Drew with those stairs. Does not take advantage of it though, and gets a backbreaker for his problems. I think part of the issue is, and where some of these wrestlers are getting lucky, if they ever get back in the ring, this match is going to end real quick. I think a lot of their finishing moves, like this, the sit-down sausage, just got hit on Drew McIntyre. Looks like he's in the ropes all the way, but doesn't get counted in the ropes. Dave then steps in, and I think we're going to see it right here. Dave's finishing move, the Twisted Tango. No, apparently not. It looked like we were about to see it, but a big slam. He has one on this move right here. 2, 3, and McWayne has been eliminated, so now it is down to the New World Order. And that's his finishing move. Is Dave going to stop the New World Order from taking home the European title? Rolls up the leg. 1, 2, 3, And he does just that. nWo came so close to firing the first shot, but instead it is the Stampede brand.
Here is your winner, and new European champion, Dave.
So definitely not the finish that McWayne was probably hoping for, McWayne too, or Sentinel. But at least between the three of them, fended off the New World Order and Drew McIntyre. But what does that mean for the rest of the night? Who else is going to be involved in the New World Order? Are they involved in the bigger piece of this match or not? Now, the current Universal Women's Champion, Miss Nightmare, not putting her title on the line tonight, but Auska has put out that she believes she is the next one. So Miss Nightmare has agreed to give her a shot to see if she can earn a chance at the Women's Universal World Championship. Yeah, sit down sausage. He is the one that named it. I've named every other move. He named the sit down sausage. He said it and was so tickled when he said it. I was like, that has got to be what we do. Again, guys, just doing a quick sound check. How does it sound? Is the sound okay? Is it balanced? Is it not okay?
It's scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing Legacy from Neo, Osaka, the Universal Women's World Champion, Miss Nightmare.
Really thinking about taking Legacy's entrance gear. I liked it at first. I'm not as big a fan of it as I should be, though. So we might remove some things from it again. Yeah, Auska, definitely a beast. One of my favorite women wrestlers. Wish they would give her better stories. It looks like they're starting to, which is nice. Miss Nightmare, though, making her way down into the ring. Making her way into the ring. And I got to tell you, like, just scary, scary wrestler. Can you imagine just being a normal-sized person and then making your way down to fight the Kiss Army? I mean, that's almost what it looks like. You know what I mean? And she's not even wearing the platforms. Guys, remember, drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any time we go live.
From Osaka, Japan, Auska.
Auska now making her way down to the ring. You know, I really liked it when they kind of had the idea. It didn't last very long, but to go with Kairi Sane, that was another really just good Asian descended style wrestler. You know, it's almost like when you look at the luchadors and stuff like that. They have a very similar and different, but like more fast-paced style, and you get to see different move types and different move sets because the move types originate from a different place. You know what I mean? So very cool. But I do like the new stuff that they are starting to do with Auska. But it seems to be like she has been on a roll multiple times coming out of NXT. I can't believe they didn't build her up bigger. Now, there was an injury in there, too, so we will see. But look at the utter size difference between the two of these wrestlers. And when you look at like a wrestler like Crimson or Miss Nightmare, you can definitely tell like their game is the power game. Auska really gonna have to use pacing in this match, like get control of it and then use pacing. She normally goes fast, but I don't think fast is how you win this match. Like, yeah, you might have to start off fast to get. Holy cow, already a 2 count. And I think that's mostly because she didn't see it coming. But this is a smart play here by Auska. Gets the first one in, kind of gets her stunned a little bit. And then going to some more holds, slowing down the pace. But she's got to let those holds go. Otherwise, it gets reversed back around. But just look at that. 4 moves have been done, and it almost feels like Miss Nightmare would be able to pin and win right now. Yeah, I would have did something a lot different with Auska. I would have got Auska, Kairi Sane, Io Sky. I would have got them together and made it more like an Asian business type empire. Very straightforward. Kind of like the Hurt Business in a way, but different. Instead, they didn't do that, and they don't know what to do. So it's just strange. Like, we see things, but then again, like, I've watched other content creators do different things. I'm like, man, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of putting that guy with that? So it's what makes it fun. Auska, though, getting back in control. Now, see, right about here, you want to let her up. That way you stay in control. Now, I wouldn't worry about the crowd as much, but that one seemed to have worked out a little bit. Again, the slower pacing, like so far, everything is good. Oh, missed that, but stays in control. But that slower pacing, that way she could stay on top of it, doesn't get too wore out or too tired. Because if she gets too tired and then has a big move put on her, that move is even that much more effective. Almost wondering what is going on, but right there, a choke slam. Yeah, I mean, there's even other ideas that I could go with. I could buy into. But yeah, I'm with you. I like her and her style of wrestling. I don't like her storylines. They just have never done a great job with it. Here we go. Looks like this is going to be the Auska hold. Gets Miss Nightmare in it. Is Miss Nightmare going to tap out? Referee right on top of it. And look, Miss Nightmare still struggling through it. Looks like gets the elbow, and then gets back to her feet. Auska trying to get back to her feet, but can't do it in time. And like that suplex, most of the time probably is going to matter. That back toss, belly to back toss, probably most of the time isn't going to matter. But when you look at the height difference, now you're talking about a leverage advantage. Now it does start to matter. And this is the part where if I was Auska, I would have went to the top rope, started using the ring more to my advantage. finding different ways to get leverage advantages over Miss Nightmare. But yeah, look, this on some wrestlers isn't going to matter as much. On Auska, though, it does. Now, the one thing Auska probably could take a little bit, take a little stock in is this Nightmare is starting to move slower. But it's not going to matter when she hits you with the Bone Crusher. Here she goes, too. And Auska somehow kicks out in 2. That is amazing. Huge clothesline, and man, if I was Miss Nightmare, I really was like, I would probably try to roll that leg up right now, but doesn't, and just keeps hitting her. Like, man, you hit me in the chest like that, I'm gonna call, let's say uncle. Look at the amount of big moves that have been happening. And Auska somehow, but 2 Bone Crushers, you are not getting up from that. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just gonna tell you, 3, you knew it was coming. So Auska does not look like she has earned the Universal Championship shot. But what is Miss Nightmare doing? I mean, she dominated this match, but it doesn't look like she's satisfied with dominating it, and now taking that chair shot. Even let the referee know she will take the chair shot after the referee if he does not get out of the way. So we have seen this before from Miss Nightmare where she is not having it. If she beats you, she wants to end you. So here we go. JP getting his shot at the Triple Crown Light Heavyweight Championship. And if you remember in the last one, JP ends up eliminating most of the people. Then right at the end, Seth Rollins kind of sneaks in there, lets JP do all the eliminations, and then hits JP with the finisher. And it was quite the fight still. But Seth Rollins going into that definitely had the advantage.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Triple Crown Light Heavyweight Championship.
Now, one of the most epic entrances we have on Wednesday Night Stampede, JP getting ready to make his way down to the ring. Look at his face. He is like still pissed off that he does not have that Triple Crown Light Heavyweight Championship around his waist. But he's going to get a shot here tonight in a one-on-one match. Now, you would think that he has got to be the favorite to win this, even though Seth Rollins is our current light heavyweight champion. But just how it went in the last match, you would think he's the favorite. Now, that might be bad news for tonight. It seems like the people favored to win the matches have not been winning the matches. Yeah, I don't know why it does it either. I can't figure it out. If you look at and look at the next guy coming out, it does it to the logo too, and I don't know how to fix it. But oh my gosh, look at this. Seth Rollins also apparently gonna get his shot at being in the New World Order music playing, but the crowd still singing to his old theme song. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, two of the newest members to the nWo. Yeah, this is kind of amazing. Like, you look at this, and you're talking about like an nWo 2.0. You look at like the Horsemen 2.0, right? That came from TSW, but now the nWo going about this a completely different way. Hollywood Hogan somehow must have been talking to a lot of these guys.
Introducing the challenger from Salt Lake City, Utah, weighing in at 177 pounds, Jaden the Wick Palmer.
I can't fix your necklace, though. That is for sure.
And his opponent from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217
I think I know what the issue is.
pounds. He is the Triple Crown Light Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins.
But Hogan must have been talking to these guys, because look, you've got the likes of Drew McIntyre, a member now of the New World Order. You look at Seth frickin' Rollins, a member of the New World Order. Already this group is becoming quite formidable. Right. So here's another thing. The New World Order did not add another title to their thing tonight, but can Seth defend one of the titles and keep it in the New World Order, or will JP bring home the Light Heavyweight Championship? Both of them are going to have a pose off, I think. Apparently JP wanted to win that pose off, though. He got up first and delivered a big boot. Seth Rollins, though, gets up and then whips him into the ropes. And so far, a pretty even back and forth match we have got going. Now, while Seth Rollins, yeah, is a little bit bigger, it's not a huge size difference. And what the size thing will change is the speed. Both wrestlers pretty quick, but JP looks like he's just a touch faster. So you got Seth Rollins a touch bigger, JP a touch faster. JP dominated the match and did not come away with it last time. Is it going to be the same here tonight? JP trying to get it, but look at that. Seth Rollins steps out of the way. JP, though, still lands on his feet. Gets clotheslined, and again, back and forth they go. JP there stepped out of the way, thought he was going to get Seth. Seth steps out of the way, gets JP and runs him into the barrier. JP, though, you look at just like the difference in the size. Very tough wrestler, though. Has already proven that in the first match. Is he going to be able to continue that on here tonight? And now Seth Rollins looking like a man on a mission, wearing the brand new colors of his new faction, the New World Order, trying to bring the New World Order back to relevance. Look at this underhanded move by the nWo. Moves that these guys are known for, but JP right back at it. Busted Bronx rolls him up and gets him locked in. That is quite the lock he has got on Seth Rollins. Now right here is where you would have wanted to let go and maintain control, but we've seen this happen multiple times tonight. But we haven't seen that happen. Seth Rollins now split open by the knee, doesn't go down, recovers. I don't think JP was expecting that. And Seth Rollins, even though he's got blood running down his face, back in control of this match, takes it to the top. Why not let it fly? Frog splash. 1, 2, and JP kicking out in 2. Holy cow. And that is Seth Rollins' finishing move, the curb stomp. 1, 2. And look at this. JP showing you why he got this match again. Kicks out again. Is he gonna... Oh, thought he might have used that window, but look at him using the entire arena. Seth trying to get back to his feet. JP, though, not having it, and here he goes. This might do it. Rolls up the leg. What a smart move, too. Rolls him out away from that rope. Did you see? Cut in through here and rolls him out away from the rope. Really smart move. JP, though, stays in control of this. And Seth's got to be reeling just a little bit, thinking that he had this one in the bag. JP, though, kicks out of his finishing move. And now Seth on the defensive. Look at this. JP starting to feel it. Takes it up to the top rope. What are we about to see? The coup de grace, and now should go for the pin, but instead poses for the camera. All the magazines should have got their shot right there. JP now trying to get out of the ring, get back to his feet. Seth sees him doing it. Blocked by JP. Uses that top rope. Another knee. And now sets up for it again. This might be it. If he can get this in, we should have a brand new light heavyweight champion. Goes, rolls the leg. 1, 2. And how did Seth Rollins kick out of it again? JP's like, okay, let's take this to the top. Take it from the top. Seth steps out of the way. Tries to get back in control of this. Look at this. Underhanded tactic. Elbow right to the back of the scunion. Seth playing it up to the crowd, but JP gets up. Seth's like, nope. Meant to do that. Thought he might have been trying to go for the frog splash, but JP sees him, throws him back down onto the mat. And now JP trying to feel it, trying to get pumped up. Big knee. And another big knee. We have seen JP win on that move right there. Decides not to go for the pin. A big jump over. Now sets up. You got to know 3 of these. This has got to do it. Look at how much blood is coming out of Seth Rollins' face. 1, 2, 3, and we have a brand new Triple Crown Light Heavyweight Champion.
Here is your winner, and new Triple Crown Light Heavyweight Champion, Jaden the Wick Palmer.
Man, I am telling you, like, regardless of what this computer might say, I think JP and Seth Rollins has put on multiple now 2 5-star matches. That was crazy. But now it looks like both members of the nWo, Even though one walked in with the title belt tonight, they are not leaving with one. And here we go. Hollywood Hogan assembling his team, and it looks like he is gone with a newer version, the new possible version of the nWo. If they can win here tonight, Hollywood was expecting a one-on-one match with Totes McGoats, but Totes, handling it the Horseman way, says no, you will come through the Horsemen to try to earn that right. Can the nWo do that here? Maybe the only time we do get to see the New World Order on Stampede Wrestling. We know Hollywood's faction is on Raw.
The following contest is an elimination match. Introducing first, representing the nWo from Hollywood, California, weighing in at 302 pounds, Hollywood Hogan.
So Hollywood Hogan possibly assembling the greatest group of 5 guys that I have ever seen. But we know that the current version of the nWo with Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Randy Savage, and Hollywood Hogan reside on Raw. However, this new version actually may be residing on the Stampede brand. So is the nWo, if he's allowed to pass the torch, are they moving from Raw to Stampede? We know the 4 Horsemen hail from the SmackDown brand. So quite interesting, a little brand mixing going on and not on a pay-per-view. That should let you know how big this really is. So here we go, nWo music playing. Don't know if you caught everybody that is involved in this New World Order, but look at this. John Cena, Bobby Roode, and Randy Orton join Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre donning the gear of the nWo.
And at a combined weight of 731 pounds, John Cena, Robert Roode, and Randy Orton, the nWo.
Man, when you look back at the nWo and when it first started and kind of how they started progressing through WCW, it was meant to be an elite group. It kind of got sidetracked, but it got sidetracked for this reason. A lot of people don't realize that the nWo tried to actually take over the brand of WCW. And what's odd right here, we've already got what I would call the godfathers of the New World Order in Hollywood Hogan and the Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Randy Savage, X-Pac. It almost is starting to get a feel like they are trying to take over wrestling if they're allowed to do it. Now, this is step one. When the old version of the nWo tried to earn the rights, Totes My Goats beat them to retain the rights and the branding rights of the trademarks and the logos of the New World Order. Hollywood Hogan wants to pass the torch, but has to go through Totes My Goats and now the 4 Horsemen to try to earn that right back to pass the torch. It's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts and pieces, but can the nWo, and then if they do it, what is going to happen? Do we start seeing the NWO on all brands? Do we just start seeing the NWO on one brand? Are they trying to become their own brand? Or are they just trying to become an elite group of wrestlers that run whatever brand they're on?
And at a combined weight of 1,048 pounds, the Four Horsemen.
Four Horsemen now making their way down to the ring. Are they going to be able to stop the NWO and what the NWO is doing? Look at that Universal Championship around the waist of the leader of the Horsemen, Robbo. This is going to be one crazy match. It is an elimination match. It is in a tag team setting. And the two leaders, the leader of the NWO and the leader of the Horsemen, starting out this match. I almost got to think that any team that John Cena is on, they have got to be the ones that are favored and have the advantage. You're looking at the cover star of 2K23 in this ring and now joining the NWO. Remember, John Cena was, if you go all the way back to season 1, John Cena was the commissioner of our TSW wrestling brand. Then he goes on to be the cover man on WWE 2K23, joins the Stampede brand instead of staying on a Raw or a SmackDown, joins the Stampede brand, and now trying to make it so that Hollywood Hogan can pass the torch in the NWO and wearing the branding right now of the NWO. This is also another thing. This is one of those matches where you can get knocked out. It is absolutely possible to get knocked out. Totes over there taking care of Randy Orton. Bobby Roode trying to run things here. Taking on Eagle. Hogan, the only one just staying over on the side. Look at Roode. Robert Roode just passing him out. John Cena now trying to get back up to his feet. And now NWO kind of sitting okay. Four Horsemen trying to get things fixed. Robbo gets Rowdy tagged into the match. And now Randy Orton and Rowdy getting ready to tie it up. Rowdy, the enforcer of the Four Horsemen, and you would almost think, if you're looking at how things set up, that you would have Drew McIntyre possibly be kind of taking on that role. Randy Orton, totes and goats, going after it. And look at Randy Orton on another level. I mean, I'm telling you, might be one of the better 5 men ever assembled in wrestling. Robert Roode, John Cena, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. Are you freaking kidding me? Gonna be tough. But that isn't to say that the Horsemen aren't the best 4 wrestlers ever assembled. Now, that's funny. Hogan and Totes have a history of wrestling together. Know each other's moves very well, and you see Totes initially duck Hogan's move, get things turned back around, and get the Horsemen in control. Eagle now making his way into the ring. Don't think he saw Hogan recover so quickly. It's one of those things about Hogan. Hogan's sneaky. You got to keep your eye on that guy. Hogan getting Cena tagged in. Eagle Star, though, looked like he was kind of waiting on him. Goes to take advantage. Cena misses the grab, and Eagle taking advantage of the mistake that was just made. Cena having the opportunity to kind of get back in control of the match, but now Eagle Star doing it. And Rowdy tagged back in. You can kind of see with the four horsemen, they are actually pretty good about getting in and out of the ring. There's been some times they haven't been, but so far this match, they have done a really good job. Look at that. Robbo getting things turned back around, giving Rowdy the opportunity to get back in control of this match over Cena. And now incoming double team move. What is this? Well, that has got to be an owie. Referee acting like he's not seeing anything. Cena jumps now, gets Rude tagged in, and now every single wrestler has had a chance to be the legal man in the ring. And I would think, too, if I was the Horseman, this is kind of how I'd want it set up. If Rude's in the ring, I'd want Eagle Star, and Eagle's got a little payback. I think Toad's got a little payback for Robert Roode, too, but Eagle definitely has some payback for old Bobby Roode. What is he getting ready to do? Oh, looked like he threw a little dragon shimmy in there just for good measure, and now Eagle getting back after the nWo on both sides, just letting the right hands fly. Oh, thought Robert Roode was going to be able to take advantage of this, but Eagle doesn't allow him to. Now rolls up the leg, and only a 1 count. Big slam by Robert Roode, jumps through the legs, 1, 2, and Eagle kicks out in 2. So yeah, just think about this. I mean, the possibility of the group that they just put together, the New World Order. I mean, it's hard to say based off that group maybe what the exact plan is. But then does it matter? I mean, that is a very elite group of established wrestlers. And how long has Hollywood Hogan been working on this? This can't be like all of a sudden. This has to be something that he has probably had in the works for a while now. Randy Orton, quite the move, and letting you know, taking a little bit of time to step back and being like, man, oh, I wish they did too. That is, there are people, but that is one of the people that they have absolutely misused. Totes now hoping to get a little payback on Randy Orton, but Randy says, no, that's not how this is going to go. Totes now using this opportunity. Randy kind of took his eye off the prize, now trying to use this opportunity to maybe deal some damage on Randy. Hogan, though, like, I mean, there's a reason for it. Turns the tide of the match again, gets involved just at the right time, and allows Randy Orton to get back in control of the match. Look at this, Rowdy, the enforcer, taking one for the team, giving Totes the opportunity, who is the legal man, to gain an advantage. So really, really smart play there by Rowdy. But Randy Orton, you can't say enough things about some of these guys. Like, you look at the icon like Hogan, icon Randy Orton, icon John Cena. Could have been an icon in Robert Roode. Nice clothesline. Thought he was going to try to get out of the ring, but instead cuts John Cena open, hits him with the extraction. Referee on one of the slowest counts you'll ever see in your lifetime. Look, Toad's talking to the ref like, what are you doing, guy? Like, we did the thing, and then you took 6 years to try to count to 2. Totes looks like he's trying to get somebody else tagged in. Cannot quite get him in the thing. Randy Orton just hit Robbo, so that's going to be a developing story, but just hit Robbo with his finisher, so something to keep an eye on there. John Cena now trying to get things turned back around. Is he going to be able to get somebody tagged in? And it seems like every time Totes is in the ring, they try to get Hogan tagged in. This time it works. Big boot to the face, 2. And Totes kicking out in 2. I do too, and what's funny, I can see Robert Roode, I can see Randy Orton, right? Cena, that's the tough one. That's the tough one to imagine. Look at that. Totes is like, get you some of this, big guy. Can Totes maintain control of this match? One big boot deserves another. And Totes just taking it to the New World Order right now. But I think it's probably about time he gets somebody else tagged in. He has been in that match for longer than he normally would be. Yeah, I think that's the thing that is most shocking to our universe mode is you can't see John Cena. I can see Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. I can see all of them. The one you can't see is Cena. And it's just like back in the day when Hogan joined the nWo. That was actually, at the time, no way you could have saw that coming. It was a shock to every single person. And I think that's kind of what's going on right here with Cena. Cena maybe wanting to take the next step in his career. He's done it all. Well, he's done it all except this. Now he is doing this. And what is that going to mean? Where does that lead? So both legal men now back in the ring. Hogan, though, getting the advantage on Totes. Throws him down. Look at Hogan saying, hey, thought it was fixing to come. What is he doing here? Really wrenching on that knee, wrenching on that ankle. And gets Randy Orton tagged back in. So far, Totes has not had a good time with Randy Orton. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Sentinel. We will catch you a little bit later. And this is what I mean. Look at this. Totes McGoats not having the best luck with Randy Orton. Really needs to get somebody else tagged in. Now Totes McGoats cut open. Makes you, like, how many people? We got Cena cut open, Robbo, Totes. Hogan tagged back in. Can Totes get back to his feet? No, he cannot. And here we go. Looks like Hogan's finishing move coming up. Hits Totes. Is he going to roll him up? Does, but Robbo right there to break it up. And John Cena there to break it up with Robbo. Rowdy reaching in, trying to help, but it not working. Hulk Hogan, look at this, getting pumped up right now. And gets Randy Orton tagged in. Totes needs to get out of there when Randy Orton's tagged in. Totes just got knocked out by Randy Orton. Eagle Star, though, already in the match. But look at this. Orton staying on top of it. Eagle now trying to get on top of it. Throws Randy Orton into the corner. And for the most part, I think Eagle Star has had much, much better luck with Randy Orton. But again, kind of the pacing of the match against a Randy Orton type wrestler, you got to go fast on him. Robbo now reaching, but Eagle cannot muster the strength to dive. Eagle now trying to get back to his feet. And there it is, big clothesline. But John Cena now tagged in. And I was gonna say, I don't think Eagle saw it coming. Eagle now trying to get back to his feet. nWo looking like they're gonna possibly have a shot. Things are looking good for him right now. Now that could change in the next 22 seconds, so we don't know. Rowdy there though to break it up. And once again, good teammate. Not just break it up, but giving Eagle Star the chance to take advantage of the match. Eagle now getting out of the match, getting Robbo tagged in, but he didn't do it. And Eagle has been knocked out by John Cena, and now you have Rowdy trying to go for the pin. Rowdy immediately got in, transitioned out into that very well, but now look at this. It is 4 on 2. Right now, the 4 Horsemen have to start making some inroads, but look at this. Cena dives, gets Hogan tagged in, but not to the surprise of Rowdy. Rowdy now getting Robbo tagged in, and if you remember, this is how this match started. Robbo, though, a lot of blood. Look at a lot of blood coming out of the face. Robbo now looking to hit Hogan with the old trifecta, taking him to Suplex City. Population 1. Now rolls up the leg of Hogan. 1, 2, 3. And now back to a 3-on-2, looking a little bit better, but John Cena, the new legal man. I think Robbo probably a little bit surprised. Cena looked like he saw him coming, but didn't see him coming well enough. Robbo right now, though, on an island against the rest of the nWo until Rowdy can recover. We will have to see how this goes. Robbo gets him up. This is Robbo's finishing move. Rolls up the leg. 1, and broken up after a 1 count. I'm going to be honest, of all the wrestlers, really it's John Cena. If they can find a way to get John Cena out of this match, that would actually go a long way to giving them a shot to win this thing. Bravo now wisely getting Rowdy in, get a little bit of rest. They really need to start looking at quick tags. Cena now, oh, Rowdy tried to stop him because they kind of had the nWo on the ropes there, but there you go. Robert Roode now rolling up the leg. 1, 2, and Rowdy back out in 2. Another big slam by Robert Roode, but Bravo there to break it up. Bravo wisely getting out of the ring quickly. But look at the nWo. It's almost like these guys have been working together, even though this group just got formed. Rowdy reverses this. Goes to Bulldog Randy Orton. Randy Orton reverses that somehow. Rowdy now reverses this back down and a huge slam. Rolls the leg. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. John Cena in to break it up. And then right back out. Rowdy now setting up. Is this going to eliminate Orton right here? He does, and now they are down 2v2. But again, it just feels like the nWo has the advantage as long as Cena is in this match. But so far, amazing job. nWo had gotten it down to 4-on-2. And Rowdy and Rambo, 2 of the longest standing members. Well, Eagle and Rowdy are the longest standing members, but 2 of the longer standing members of the 4 Horsemen fighting back. Can they prevent the nWo rise up before it ever starts? Another crazy double team move. Thought they might have went for the pin right there, but can't get the pin. Bravo takes it over the top, does a little flippity-dippity, misses though. But this should show you how physical this match has been up to this point. Both wrestlers still kind of out of it a little bit, but a huge clothesline by Bravo. Can he get this in on John Cena? Or, okay, smart. Another double team move incoming. Little rolling Poland going on right there. Hits him again. And Rowdy working on. If Rowdy can get this in, this might do it. Eliminates John Cena and Randy Orton, and now it is down to a 2-on-1. But Robert Roode, probably the freshest of all the nWo. Can Robert Roode fend off the 4 Horsemen to give the nWo a shot? At trying to take over wrestling. Current Universal Champion Rabo now up, and Robert Roode, there is nobody to protect him, but only a 1 count. But now it feels like the nWo is on the wrong end of this stick, without a doubt. Huge powerbomb to the outside. Somehow Robert Roode stays in this match. But this might do it right here. 1, 2, 3, and the 4 Horsemen have thwarted the nWo before they ever got started.
Here are your winners, the 4 Horsemen.
Man, you look at this match, you gotta say, without a doubt, Rowdy has gotta be like the MVP of this match. Eagle has been for a while. Tonight, though, it had to be Rowdy. Rowdy taking out Randy Orton and John Cena. Holy cow. What a match. However, that does bring us to the final match of the evening, and quite a big one at that. World title on the line for Stampede Wrestling. Digital will get his shot one-on-one, mano y roboto, against Max Fenig. Can Max, who just won the world title in a 4-way competition, can Max walk away with the world title still around his waist tonight?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Stampede Championship.
So kind of an interesting new development. Witcher making her way down to the ring with Digital tonight. What does that mean? Not quite sure what that means. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean something. Definitely a development we are going to have to keep our eyes on. But Digital coming down with his battery pack on his back, making sure he is going to be charged up and ready to go for this match. And Max now making his way down to the ring. We talked about this a lot in Season 3, but there was 2 people for sure that I was like, you know what? These guys probably need world title shots. They both got them in Season 3. And now they both got them in Season 4, but Max actually taking advantage of his shot here in Season 4 and winning the Stampede world title. Will he be able to hold on to it, though? Like, it is not going to be an easy match, especially for your very first title defense. And his shirt says, "Woke up again, sexy as hell." He did it again. Like the old Britney Spears song, "Oops, Max did it again." Pretty sure it's a DQ match, but we are going to find out. It's not going to take too long to figure out if it's a no DQ or not.
The challenger from Authority Megacorp HQ, weighing in at 382 pounds, Dr. Dog. And his opponent from the Wasteland, weighing in at 273 pounds, he is the Stampede Champion, Max Fenig.
Max Fenig, another interesting thing is if you look at his mask is very similar to Recon Delta. Recon Delta and him were tag team partners for quite some time before Recon kind of went his own way, but now Recon went his own way. Max gets his shot at a world title, loses it the first time in season 3, but gets another shot in season 4 and wins it. Now, you know, as big as Max is, Digital is bigger. So is size going to play into it? Is Witcher, who is a multi-time world champion, going to be able to help Digital possibly get over the hump? Is she going to play a role in tonight's match? Now, one of the worst referees that we have always seems to be getting knocked out and missing calls. Is the referee for this title match? Is the referee, just through no fault of anybody, going to cost one of these competitors the match? Yeah, Max is still one of our super heavyweights, but on the lighter side. He is on the lighter side of heavyweight status. Digital, though, fighting through, now starting to lay the boots, getting things rolling. And just keeping an eye on Witcher. Witcher has kind of backed off the ring a little bit. She's like, okay, you got this, we're in control, we're doing the thing. Yeah, that was a crazy good match. Max rolls, gets out of the way of that. Big boot was incoming. From Digital, and now Max trying to get back into. You can see Max really likes the submission type holds, getting in this bear hug. Is that going to play a role in Digital? You got to see, like, he is half mechanical here. Are the submission holds going to matter? Max starting to get things turned back around. Can Digital stop this little onslaught that's going on by Max, or is Max just going to keep rolling through? That's kind of what happened in the championship match. Max got on a roll and couldn't be stopped, and there it is. Max will retain the World Heavyweight Championship tonight.
Here is your winner, and still Stampede champion, Max Fenwick.
Now, this is the exact reason why it's going to be hard for anybody to beat Max. Max does this thing where all of a sudden he gets on this roll, and if he hits you with 4 or 5 moves, it can wipe you out quick. Max, a lot bigger than people think he is. So, he can end a match quick, and he's done it now a couple times this season already. So guys, remember, really glad you're all here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss any time we go live, and share the video. That is the one way that we are going to continue to grow as a community. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. Hopefully now that we've got this set up, and it seemed to work really well, we can start doing a lot more of these and a lot faster. So, again, appreciate everything you've done, and we will catch all of you in the next one. Peace.